The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
To recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. And I'm Paige Clarke. Good morning.
And it's a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, 65 degrees. Going to be sunny, mostly sunny today, and maybe a high around 80 degrees. It's nice out there.
It sure is. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at Paige@TFNN.com.
And Nico at TFNN.com, and you can call us at 877-927-6648. Big day today, big day. This is Election Day 2016,
and wherever you are, I hope today is a day that we can remember that no matter what we are, as many things as we have not in common, we have many hopes and dreams in common. And I'm hoping for a day of peace.
Hard to think of that with the last 2 years of bull.
But I think that, somehow or another we want peace. Peace in our hearts, peace in our minds, peace in our country, in our world. And I hope maybe we can think on that a little bit and hope for that.
Take a deep breath. It'll soon be over. It's going to be anxiety day for no matter what side you're on. And I know, even though I'm in Florida and we had early voting, I didn't do it. But so as soon as we leave here, I'll be going to our little spot there at our City Hall in Bel Air Bluffs. And, early vote. I never really understood the concept of one day we vote. And if we do one day vote, why not everybody's off work?
Yeah.
That's what I would think. But maybe stretching it over a week or even a month, why not?
Yeah, I think so.
But the downside of that is, of course, lots in our news cycle. I mean, every day changes things, so people are changing their minds.
Yeah, and I do believe that a lot of the events that have come up could have greatly swayed people. I know people that it did sway people of things that are going on, and you still need to have the right to change your vote. But that is a challenge right there.
Well, now, there's another thing that happened this weekend that kind of adds to the anxiety and things, and that's really the time change. I thought we'd talk about that a little bit.
I really am excited to talk about that because I really never knew a lot of the story behind, what really went on. So many of you know we had to fall back. We woke up on the weekend thinking we were late, but hey, we were up an hour earlier, and I was out of town and woke up in the hotel. And I kind of like it when I travel sometimes because in hotels they have those room darkening shades, and it's kind of nice, get the fluffy blanket and the room's dark. And I woke up and it gave me like an hour to do a little reading that I love to do. So let's talk a little bit about it. There's a lot of story about daylight savings times, and what we want to discuss is the real reason why daylight savings time is a thing. And there was a myth that farmers campaign for daylight savings. They say that's a myth.
Well, the daylight saving time began in Germany on May 1st, 1916, in hopes it would
during the World War I.
Yeah, it would save energy during World War I, according to Michael Downing, the author of Spring Forward, the annual madness of daylight savings time. But though Germans were the first to mess with their clocks, the idea really came from Britain, and from someone whose idea about daylight savings time had nothing really to do with conserving fuel.
Nothing to do with conserving fuel. So what was going on? This guy, William Willett, in 1907, had published The Waste of Daylight. Willett was inspired by an early morning epiphany that the sun shines upon the land for several hours each day while we are asleep. And yet there remains only a brief spell of declining daylight in which to spend the short periods of leisure at our disposal, quote unquote.
Of course, going back to the time when we were hunter and gatherers, we just got up with the sun. There were no clocks. Probably if we were sleeping outside, the sun would come up and we'd wake up. But if we were in a cave or something like that, maybe you could see the light peering through. I don't know.
Yeah, so William Willett said, though he mentioned that it would save money, he said, by reducing the use of artificial light his main purpose was the increased enjoyment of sunlight.
In sunlight, we love sunlight.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting this morning. I woke up and, whereas usually I'm driving here in the dark, it was light while I was making my coffee.
Yeah.
So.
So then the first U.S. law on daylight savings time was on March 19th, 1918 for the same fuel-saving reasons, about a year after the country entered the war. But again, the official reason was fuel savings. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce was the major hacker for the policy.
Hacker or backer?
Or backer.
You got lots of hackers.
I got lots of hackers on my mind, that's for sure. Because Americans were getting off work while it was still light out, meant they could do more likely go shopping in the evening.
Oh, so there's a commerce
thing.
Commerce reason attached to it.
It always boils down to money in our society. For wherever we do things, it has to do with financial things.
Yeah. And I have to admit that somehow or another, when you work a long day, you feel kind of good when it's like, I didn't lose my whole day at work when, because we live in Florida, so there's a lot of sunshine.
Right.
We feel like that's great, but as we'll talk, we really are designed to run our biological clocks with the sun, right? So sports and recreational industries also saw the light, quote unquote. Golf ball sales skyrocketed during daylight savings
that's pretty amazing
time.
thing.
According to Downing, and baseball is a huge early supporter too, because there's no artificial illumination of parks. So to get school kids and workers to ball games with the extended daylight, they had a later starting time. This is, of course, back at War
Yeah, but there's
time.
one industry that really hated daylight savings times, and that was the movie industry. And just think about it, in the 40s, the movies were just getting started. I mean, people were starting to go out to movies. I remember in the 50s, that was my Saturday matinees, man. I'd be going to movies all the time.
Yeah,
my
and
parents would be going at night.
How about the drive-in movie theaters?
Yes.
They really had to wait, because, they wanted it to get dark so they could maybe get 2 sessions in the summer.
Right.
Not getting dark till 9 o'clock. That's
Right.
kind of interesting,
So the experiment has been going on a long time. During World War II, the United States really started getting into this a little bit more. And I always thought that in Florida here, especially on the west coast of Florida, we were more in tune with the middle of the country, I think, rather than Eastern time. I think the west coast of Florida, in fact, the Panhandle is on Central time, I think. And I think we should actually, it'd be better for us if we were on Central time, but it's not in my hands.
Yeah, somebody cited that they observed back then that daylight savings time is surrounded by rural areas that are not, and no one can tell what time it really is anywhere. And this guy wrote a poem: to miss a train or business deal because our clocks are without keel can cause a nation lost of gold, even worse than all the misers hold. So in other words, they were concerned about how it was affecting commerce.
Yeah,
at
always.
That time. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was
there's one wise man a long time ago said there's really no such thing as time. There's only clocks.
And in reality, though, there is no such thing as time.
No, it's always now.
Yeah, right.
And now is a pretty good thing. And now is the time you should pick up my Health Signals newsletter and also pick up some Primal Edge. We have our great month of the sale here, $25 off your first bottle of Primal Edge, and I highly encourage you to go to the TFNN.com website and pick up some Primal Edge.
That's right.
Now.
Start your new year right. Start it early during the holidays when it's all going to be hustle and bustle.
We have our quick cool down or warm up if you want to take a look at that. Kelly's right there on our website. Stick around, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Nico, we got some mail. We always like to go over our mail.
Before I forget, this is really important. Mila contacted me. She said, "Hello, Nico. I heard your spot on Tom's show this past Friday. I didn't get a chance to hear as much as I'd like. I'd like to hear more about the lady who cured herself of cancer comment you made. And can you point me to the show?" Well, I think we should just discuss it here and make it easy. And what is the science behind it, and what does this allow things in and out mean? And this was referring to, I was on Tom O'Brien's show on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, I think it was, and we were talking about the promo for the Primal Edge.
Right.
And I related, I said, the person who came up with this was a chemist who was with Merck, and when she quit Merck, she started her own company, and she had a problem with cancer of the brain, I believe.
Yeah. So the person who we chose is a biochemist, and as Nico said, she had a career in the pharmaceutical industry working for Merck, so she was very well trained and with a very pronounced company. But unfortunately, in her early 40s, she came down with a very aggressive form of brain cancer, and it was probably in about a stage 3 or 4.
Wow.
And working in the drug industry, she decided to do her own research about traditional treatments of cancer, and most people, after they do that, they oftentimes make decisions to pursue a different approach.
Right.
And for her, that's what was the reality. She has 2 small children, and she actually found out about the substances, the main active ingredient or the base that we have in the Primal Edge. She found out about it from a gentleman who was actually kind of a renowned spiritual leader. And the story, as it was told to me, is that this person shared with her that she should research the power of fulvic and humic acids. And as a drug formulator, that was very easy for her to do. And she was quite surprised to see the mounds of evidence and the extensive research that drug companies, pharmaceutical companies, have done into this natural compound, fulvic and humic acids, into how they could possibly use this, patent it, change it, whatever. It is Mother Nature's miracle molecule, as quoted by other people.
Yeah.
And what it really is the degradation of ancient soil beds, plant material from millions and millions of years ago, and this this breakdown of this material through the microorganisms in our soil organisms, creates a very nutrient-dense platform for people to receive 74 plus plant-based ionic minerals in their cell-ready ionic reduced form, 13 plus vitamins, additional powerful fatty acids, and essential amino acids. As a result, when her question, the question was, what does this mean, allow things in and out? What it means is fulvic and humic acids help to create the proper charge on the cell membrane.
Right.
Our cell membranes need a proper charge.
Residence.
Yes, right. And what happens is when we have a proper negative charge on the membrane, so that things, let's put it this way, bacteria, viruses, etc., have a positive charge. And there's a chemical reaction happens, and the fulvic humic allows kind of chemical alchemy. In other words, toxic substances are bound and removed. They're natural chelators. Fulvic and humic performs natural chelation, if you want to use that word. Yeah. They help to remove, so when we say get the good things in, it is able to package nutriture and make it so that we can bring it into the cell, and at the same time help us to detoxify, chelate, recognize perhaps harmful bacteria, viruses, heavy metals that are not beneficial to us, help the chemical bonding go so that we can remove them from the body. So it's like bringing good stuff in, but having a very natural, gentle detox as you take it.
Yeah, because we're really bombarded by a lot of toxins, not just in our food, but of course the air we breathe, the water we have, and just naturally out there everybody's spraying Roundup and things like that. So our body naturally protects itself. We try to get the stuff out as much as possible, but in its wisdom, if it can't get it out, it'll store it. It'll store it in our fat cells. And
it stores it in the fat, and that's why really it's important, if you're going to burn fat, you better know how to bind it, because you got to bind the toxins that live there. Now, I do want to preface that comment about she cured herself of cancer. There's many cures for cancer, whether they're pharmacological, whether they're natural, whether they're spiritual. But from what we understand, the fulvic humic acids, the compound that we use as the base of the Primal Edge, is the compound that was partially responsible for, she did many things.
Ketogenic diet, there's many different things that you
she did a lot of spiritual things. She did a lot of emotional purging things. It's many things that we do to recover from something like that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say, too, what she didn't do was go the conventional route by taking chemo or doing any radiation.
Yes, she did not. She chose not to do traditional training, but she did many natural things and spiritual and releasing things that, she is completely cured of this brain cancer.
And in the first place, I really looked in research for the fulvic and humic acids was in the literature, and the literature really talks about fertilizer in plants, how the farmers were using humic and fulvic acid for generations to get their plants healthy, so when the animals ate the grasses, they would have all that nutrition which would be passed down to us. So the ability for humic and fulvic acid to let the good things in and get the bad things out, we're really talking about plants in the beginning, but the same mechanism works for us.
And I have to say, of course our show is not as widely watched as many of these viral things, such as The Truth About Cancer, Ty Bollinger, Think Outside the Box, as many of you may or may not be aware. A huge viral following on Facebook, the Truth About Cancer series that was out, millions and millions of people watching it. And just this year, Ty Bollinger, they launched their new products, and guess what they are? They're fulvic and humic based, and they have a fraction
of what we have.
Yeah. So,
well, it all boils down to profit. If you can't put as much in there, it means you're restricted by what it costs.
And I do want to preface that, that our formulator she took much more than our daily dose. We're talking about a daily kind of a preventative dose. There was a much more aggressive strategy distributed throughout the day.
Sure.
And of course, if you have any of those kind of situations, it's very good to work with someone, any natural trained doctor, a holistic type doctor, will be able to help you with a situation like that to find resources.
Yeah,
so.
And that's really the story, and meeting her and getting the formula the way we wanted it was the reason we brought out the Primal Edge. Very expensive product to produce. However, you know, this month we got that great sale, so $25 off that first bottle. Really important that you start yourself on something healthy, and we think this is the one that you should pick.
Yeah, really a few cents a day to get your body all of the nutrition in its cell-ready form that you need. It's important, and if you give your body this, you also help to support our show.
Yeah.
So
I
think
hope
about
that straightened things out for you, and hope you got
Thanks
the
for
information
writing us,
you needed.
Milo.
And right after the break, you know, the time change we were talking about in the earlier segment really does cause problems for us. So I think
Many
we'll
people
discuss
find
those.
that they have depression during that time. We're going to go a little deeper into this, so stay tuned.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back to the show. And we were talking earlier a segment about the time change that happened just this weekend. I think most of the states do that right now. But now you were just recently in Amish country. And
I sure was this weekend. Boy, I got my fall, as we fell back into fall, I got my fall leaf fix.
Oh, nice colors.
It's beautiful. I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and the leaves were, they say they were a little past due, but to me, it was a beautiful color. And, we're talking about timing and daylight savings, and the Amish people, they still recognize natural chronobiology and regular daylight cycles. In fact, my friend was telling me that as you pass houses, and you're driving along the road, all of a sudden you're driving along the road, and here comes a horse and buggy.
Right.
And then you'll pass houses, and certain houses will be on a kind of a country 2-lane road, and you'll see one house with electricity, and then you'll see another house with no power lines.
Oh, so some of them don't have any electricity.
They do not use electricity. The true Amish don't, and they call themselves the plain folk, and everyone else are English. And that as soon as the sun goes down, they pull down green shades in their windows. And I don't know why. It's but then the houses go dark, and they use propane gas lanterns and so forth. But it was really beautiful, and unfortunately, the way it worked out, it was up there on business, and Sunday was the day off, you know, because of the flight schedule and everything, and they don't do anything on Sunday.
Wise
but all of their clothes, you know, the clotheslines, you know, you could see that the clothes were homemade, maybe the same style, but just in different colors. It was very interesting.
Yeah. So time change could increase depression. This is dark evenings caused by the time change can lead to depression, according to a new study. And life therapy and exercise can help alleviate that seasonal depression.
That's very true. And then we were just talking about perhaps while we were trading it, people in the winter months should get their body accustomed to just going ahead and waking up earlier because they are going to get some daylight, as we learned from the other article that William Willett, that was the reason he thought people should enjoy the sunlight more and go ahead and get up. But many of us go ahead and we still keep our same schedule. We're sleeping in until maybe 8 o'clock, so we're missing close to 2 hours. Yeah, I know, but you know, or even more, right? So they're and think about that. People who work night shifts. You know, I have one of my daughters that does. Wow, if they have to sleep in after they work, they're sleeping in to close to noon because they need to get their sleep, and then it's getting dark at 5. They really are limiting their access to the sun and light.
Well, it's a whole different world. I remember when I was out playing music at night or bartending, or I was a bouncer at one time, working real late into the mornings till 5 o'clock, and then you know, you worked all night and you get that freedom to get out, but then you want to either party or do something else just to get your body down. So you'll be tired in a few hours.
Yeah, it says here that depression cases at a psychiatric hospital in Denmark increased immediately after the transition from daylight savings time. The study says, and this was an analysis of nearly 186,000 severe depression diagnoses from 1995 through 2012, and it showed an increase of 11% during this time period. And these cases gradually dissipated after about 10 weeks. So it looks like when the shift happens, it's a real shock to the system.
Now, is it more of a shock going backwards or more of a shock going forwards?
I don't know. I think it seems like from a depression standpoint, the falling back in the fall.
Because it gives you an extra hour, in a sense, but no, it really doesn't.
Yeah. So it says daylight savings time can be bad for your health. Researchers from the Department of Psychiatry and Political Science at the University of Aarhus and Copenhagen and Stanford were well aware of the negative effects associated with daylight savings time, and such as the increased heart attack and stroke risk. Interesting. So I guess these people that have a lot less daylight hours are really looking at this hard. They wanted to see what was true of standard time, especially because the time change affects people around the world and can disrupt their circadian rhythms.
Yeah. And the serotonin is involved in that.
Melatonin, all of these hormones, the light-based hormones. The serotonin rises during the day. The blue light stimulates serotonin, blue light in our atmosphere. So that's why a lot of people. Did I have brought them in yet? My blue blocker glasses, the red one. Oh, those were hot at the Bulletproof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody's wearing those.
Okay.
And so really, they create the red hues. Think about, say, the Amish turning on their propane lamps, that warm glow with you know, that golden red glow, and many people are starting to wear blue light blocking glasses beginning in the late afternoon to start signaling the body to start thinking about producing melatonin later in the evening for better sleep.
Well, one thing for sure, if you turn off the TV a couple hours beforehand, that really does help because there's a lot of blue light coming from TVs.
True, but if you have these glasses, wear them in your home.
That takes it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it distorts the... No? Just takes the blue light out.
Yeah, I'll show you. In fact, when we go to the car, I'll show you mine. I have them in the car.
It says here, the extra hour on Sunday may make it tempting to sleep in, but that's one of the worst things you can do, according to Dr. Oxman. He is director of Sleep to Live Institute. Instead, jump back into a schedule quickly. And that's kind of the same thing when you're going out west or coming back east from a long flight and you're going through time zones. You kind of have to adapt immediately. Going west is real easy to adapt because you can just keep on going, but coming back, you've actually lost the hours, and now you're completely off schedule. So
I just intuitively feel that trying to get your body in balance, your circadian rhythms in balance with nature is just a wise move. And I really am thankful that my life doesn't really, have anything like I worry about people that have to work the evening shift, because I think that can be a real stressor. And waking to sunlight will make it easier to get going, as opposed to the dark mornings many of us have been experienced, during daylight saving times, and that makes it more difficult to shake off that sleepy morning feeling.
Yeah. Well, there are things we can do, for anxiety and depression, things like that. I think we should talk about that. With the voting, with the time change, everybody's kind of, and I think it's physically, you're able to kind of reset things a lot of times, and I think we should discuss those things.
Yeah, and before we go to that, just finishing on this, I never heard this word. What? Sunlight is a natural Zeitgeber, or environmental clue that resets
your brain,
the circadian clock. So, however, even though waking to the sunlight will make it easier to get going, coming home to a dark environment can cause a sleepy feeling. And many people fall asleep while watching TV or reading. Yeah. And I think that's true. You come home and it's getting dark at 5 or 6 o'clock. You're not able to watch the hours of TV because your body, but I think that's what we should do. I think we should just go ahead and go to bed,
Yeah, don't have the TV in the bedroom.
No, nap behaviors can impact your sleep later at night too. So,
what behaviors?
Nap.
Oh, naps.
Naps, yeah, that can really affect it. But then again, we've talked about some research.
Societies that nap all the time and they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. And weren't we talking about? We did a show one time, and I thought, and I was this information resurfaced for me about setting the alarm and doing your creative work. Many people get their best creative work, say, between 2 and 4 a.m. So go to bed at 10, sleep 10 to 2, wake up for an hour or so, do some work, go back to sleep, and wake up with the sun. So, I guess there's no set rules. You have to kind of listen to your own body and follow your own intuition.
Yeah, once your mother says go to bed, that's the rule. And once you leave home, no more. It's like opening the refrigerator saying, Mom, I'm cooling the whole neighborhood.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. You're living a primal lifestyle with us.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And welcome back to the show, and we got somebody on the line.
Tom from Tampa. Are you out there, Tom?
Sorry to keep you holding so long. We had a few glitches going on here.
No problem. Hey, good morning. Hey, Larry Pesavento says over there, we live in interesting times, you know?
Yeah.
Chinese proverb, one way or the other. We're making history today, aren't we?
We sure are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Silver. Have you heard anything about silver being good for the body?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, I say, you know, everyone should be working on building their natural medicine cabinet, and nano-sized silver, small particle silver is very important. It's one of the best immune-building antioxidant, antibacterial, fungal, pathogen, stealth pathogen type of situation. And, you know, it's very interesting, Tom. Silver has been used to purify water. Back in colonial days, they often put a silver coin. Yeah, right. Yeah, they'd put a silver coin in a canteen. The blue bloods eat off of sterling silver knives and forks, so naturally we know that a lot of our pathogens come in through the food we eat. What are your thoughts on silver?
Well, I bumped into a guy the other day. He's 78. The guy's incredible. I mean, he looks like he's in his late 50s, early 60s. Takes no medications, very, very strict with his nutrition, doesn't go to the gym. I said, well, what do you get up every morning and swim? You get up every morning and take a walk? His wife was even right there. She says, no, he does no exercise at all. He gets his exercise from just like household chores, you know, running around, you know, cleaning the yard up, whatever, you know. And I found that interesting. And he went on to say, he says, people are killing themselves, and they don't even realize it by going to the gyms. You know, I'm in those gyms, too, just like you guys are from time to time. You see people in there just, you know, using extra heavy weights, and you can just tell they're just, you know, wearing down their bodies from it. You know, I've heard you say a few times, Nico, light to moderate weights is where it's at.
Exactly. Or, you know, like burst-type training. It's not, you're not spending 5 hours a day you know, tearing things down. And what you just said is very interesting. There are so many people who live very healthy. I can think of people in my life that are very busy, you know, working land and doing chores and staying very healthy. And so stress, whether it's a good stress or a bad stress, can still be tough on the body.
Yeah.
And many times people overuse exercise, and research has panned that out. But getting back to silver,
well, this has been used for eons with colds and flus and sinuses, antibacterial, like you said, used for pink eye, I remember that, and really good for wound healing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Many people that now in hospital have ulcers. You know, when my dad was in the hospital, they were using silver-based, you know, wound. The only problem is I just don't think they do it in the hospital strong enough. But you will see a lot of controversial information about silver. And again, anything that's natural, the establishment tends to attack. Proper forms of silver, there is the potential to actually get that blue skin if you use an improper form. but there are many great silver products. And, you know, it's really important to realize in these days of antibiotic and stealth pathogens that may be released into our environment, we need to realize that substances such as silver and, you know, one of my favorites too is iodine, need to be in everyone's cabinets.
Well, the silver really holds on to the oxygen molecules and kind of binds them. So we know that oxidation is not good, especially when you have it in conjunction with sugar or carbohydrates. They bind together, create a real sticky mess, and then go into your arteries and your blood vessels and things like that. So, yeah, silver has been used for eons.
And it's able to really bind with the bacteria. So really, from an standpoint of being a natural antibacterial, being used for wound and skin care, and as Nico mentioned, pink eye infections, it's extremely antiviral. So many of people that have chronic infections are suffering from low-grade viral infections. And, you know, as a person in natural health and an advocate for that, I really believe people need to do more research into the power of silver. Even many people are using it as a strong antiviral for situations such as HIV and AIDS, pneumonia, herpes, shingles, and these kind of things. So it's also anti-inflammatory.
It is anti-inflammatory.
And you can get some colloidal silver. You can get it in sprays. You can get it in tinctures. You can get it in nasal sprays because it's very powerful in sinusitis. Many of the bacteria that are involved in chronic sinus infections have biofilms, and it's very effective for sinus, cold, and flu. Again, it's a good part of the cold and flu season prevention arsenal. And pneumonia, too. It can actually really help because many drugs today have become limited in their ability to fight bronchitis or pneumonia. And I have to tell you, while I was up there, I ran into two people, or I heard two stories of people in that area that had pneumonia or bronchitis, and it had not resolved, and then they were bombarded with traditional medicine treatment with this antibiotic, and they had C. diff, which is a very dangerous, as you know, my stepmom passed away because of C. diff infection, which just is becoming rampant when people are using antibiotics that are not producing the results, sterilizing the gut, and the people come down with things. So I hope that, if you need any help, Tom, you know how to reach me. Give me a call. I'll help you pick the best silver.
Yeah, absolutely, Paige. Yeah, and one other thing, I was talking to a guy the other day. He was up for a knee replacement, and he heard about a device called Willicurve. Have you guys heard of that? Apparently, it's got these laser transmitters in it. Anyways, long story short, his orthopedic called him about 2 weeks before he's supposed to go in. He says, "Hey, Doc, I don't have any pain here in my knee anymore." He said, "Well, don't worry about it. We're not going to do the surgery." And, that technology's out there. The only thing I can figure out is those laser transmitters are probably bringing down the inflammation in the knee.
Well, sure. And our bodies communicate. Our cell-to-cell communication happens because we're electrical light beings. When we use lights, and laser is a form of light, and whether it be LED lights or laser lights or microcurrent, all of these things can produce tremendous healing effects in the body. And is it those things that are causing the healing, or is the body getting the proper information and tools to do the healing itself? Either way, it sounds good to me.
Okay, great.
Thanks for calling us.
Good talking to you guys.
Hey, thanks always, Tom, for calling us.
Okay, Paige and Nico, we'll see you later.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, so silver, we see that a lot in vitamins, of course. If you're taking minerals, silver is probably in there somewhere.
Well, sure. Like, for example, in minute forms, it's part of the elements. So it's in things like there's trace amounts. It's a trace mineral. The key is making sure that you get a well-prepared formula, and I think that's important. Yep. Because there's some forms that are better for others.
Okay, so what else is important? Pick up a Primal Edge naturally, especially during the month of November when you get $25 off the first bottle of Primal Edge.
And remember, those of you that are part of the TFNN network.com, you can use higher dollars for that.
Yeah, and I've got this interesting, I think it's, let's see, what page is this on? I think 12. Yeah, 12. What is plasma? This really gives you an idea of how plasma shows its face somewhere in the universe, everywhere in the universe.
Cool stuff.
And yeah, it's a really good article. I recommend you pick up the Health Signals newsletter and dive right into the plasma. We'll be right back, folks.
See you in just a second.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV. But if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Today, Election Day 2016, and we're going to talk about 5 U.S. voting traditions you may or may not be aware of. And the United States is pretty old, and some of our voting traditions are too. And here's a list of the most unique practices and where they originated. Number 1, the Electoral College. And I think most people understand about that.
Each state has a different number of electors and therefore a different impact on the total election.
Well, most people think that the president is the guy who gets the most votes. And, you know, you got to think again, the citizenry does not directly choose the candidates. Rather, we choose electors for each state who in turn vote for our president.
Yeah, and there's a minimum amount of electors in each state. You have to have at least 3.
And this was actually designed because back in 1787, the Constitutional Convention, small states feared they would be trampled on by the larger states in presidential elections. So a state's number of electors is mostly informed by their size, equaling their number of seats in Congress.
Yeah, in 3 different years, 1876, 1888, and 2000, the winner of the election was not the person that won the popular vote.
Yeah, and that's something I fear, I think that may very well could happen again.
It's possible.
This year, based on the turnouts that you can see,
Yep.
thousands for Trump and hundreds for Hillary, so it'll be interesting to see.
So voting on Tuesday is one of those traditions. Every 4 years, Americans vote for a new president on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November. That gets confusing right there. In 1845, it seemed like a good idea.
Well, the reason they did that is since most residents of rural America had to travel a significant distance to the county seat in order to vote, Monday was not considered reasonable, as many people would need to begin traveling on Sunday. And this would, of course, have conflicted with church schedules and Sunday worship.
Yeah, and the tradition of voting in November.
Like the Tuesday thing, the November thing seems to be a bit out of date. The Federal Election Commission explains that it was because America was once a predominantly agrarian society.
Right, agriculture
and this was
again.
the most convenient month of travel for those who harvested our food.
Yeah, the fall harvest was over, remembering that spring was planting time and summer was taking up working in the fields tending to those crops. But the majority of the nation, the weather was still mild enough to permit traveling over unimproved roads.
Well, there you go. And it's also kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of a time of descending, getting rid of things, a quiet period. So, and that's why we probably inaugurate as we come into the new year and things are new.
And it says no drinking and voting, and I think that's a big mistake. I think we should be drinking. We need it today, I'll tell you that.
In some states, they'll call the sheriff to haul you off of the voting booth if you take too long, no more than 3 minutes in Indiana. In others, like Utah, you won't be able to buy any alcoholic beverages the day of election. So I guess if you feel like you're going to have a couple cocktails after this election, you better have stocked up if you live in that state.
I guess so, yeah. And voting stickers, those little stickers that you get after you come out of the voting booth haven't been around forever. Many states and countries design their own, and it's unclear when the trend became a national thing. I know in Iraq, they dipped their finger in an inkwell. I think that's a pretty good method. You just dip it in there, and then you know you would voted or not. You have that ink for a few days, I'm sure.
Wow. So different stickers are still used in different areas, and many predate the 1986 design. The one that we see now, the I voted today design is used in many places. Yeah.
Right on the thing there.
Or I'm a Georgia voter stickers are perhaps the most adorable. But in hopes of saving money, some counties like Knox, Tennessee have stopped distributing the iconic stickers to the frustration of a few of their voters, because I think a lot of people proudly wear their voter sticker. So I hope that you make your vote, and whatever your vote is, I honor that. And what I hope is that after this election, we'll pull together for peace and the best for everyone.
Boy, I hope so.
Have a great day.
See you next time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.